So have you caught any of the inauguration?
Yeah, I did catch a little bit of it. I was watching the gift exchange they just did with Mitch McConnell and Pelosi. And I've been seeing online the photos of Bernie sitting all alone.
Don't you just love how when Bernie was about to, like, when there was a chance Bernie could be president, they shamed him for having a winter coat. Now that there's no chance he can be president, they're talking about how cute his mittens are.
Yeah.
It's so great. It's like our media is like if a condominium trust fund could just start making news.
Yeah, I was actually watching Fox News to see after Biden's, gave his speech and he's calling for unity. Well, that's a good thing. He didn't mention Trump's name. All right. And Chris Wallace on Fox was sort of talking about democracy and it's okay to have an open debate, but you can't siege the Capitol and whatever. I was like, all right. I'm struck by so many things. First of all, why are all of these old people still in power? Pelosi, McConnell, Biden. I just am like, it's just, I'm done. I'm just done with the whole thing. Okay. I'm glad Trump's gone. Great. What happened 2 weeks ago was horrific. But I'm scared that they're going to use that. If you're an armed neo-Nazi group, and you want to kill people, and you were at the Capitol, and that, and they're weeding out, neo-Nazi people from the, they got those 12 National Guardsmen. Police departments are starting to do that. Well, that's a good thing, but I'm really worried they're going to use that as just Patriot Act 2.0. So now if the Sunrise Movement goes and peacefully sits at the Capitol, demand a Green New Deal like they did 2 years ago outside of Pelosi's office, they're going to be called domestic terrorists. So there's a lot of that hanging over this. But in terms of the inauguration itself, myself, after 2 weeks ago, I was like, was today just going to be just open warfare and mayhem in the streets? I haven't heard of any of that, of any of the other Capitol buildings. I don't know if anything has happened at the other Capitol buildings. I haven't seen any news of that, so I don't know. I can't.
I haven't either. Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that. As of the recording of this right now, who knows? Who knows what could happen in the ether when the podcast is out later? Who knows? But
yeah. Maybe there's something happening and we just haven't heard it yet. I don't know. So it seems like everything has gone off without a hitch in terms of just no violence, which I don't want any violence. And Biden, the first thing that he's done, okay, got us back. These are all the things that, that when people, the centrists were, didn't want Bernie, and Bernie ultimately capitulated when he could be standing there today. We could be having a totally different conversation, but what happened. So
I'd be in DC. I think you probably would. Well, I guess because of the pandemic, I might not be, but I don't know. Would try to figure out a way.
We talked about it. A year ago, we had our conversations a year ago on both of our shows were very, very different. So it's hard to not feel a little like, oh God, we had so much hope and Bernie was like winning and he's going to win Iowa and all this stuff. So that didn't happen. And so, Biden already has signed all these executive orders. Okay, great. And he appears he's having the appearance of, we got a lot of stuff because when he became vice president, they had the financial crisis. Well, now they have a financial crisis. They have a pandemic. They have a country on the brink of civil war. They have way worse than what they had in 2009 when they got sworn in. So, okay, we're back in the Paris Accord. All right. Getting rid of the Muslim ban. Okay, good. But you helped bomb a lot of Muslims, Biden, but okay, you're going to not ban them. Okay, great. You are going to make a national mask mandate. You want to have 100 million vaccines out in 100 days. Okay. These are all things that are bold the 100 million vaccines is bold, but here, the thing I was worried about a Biden presidency, and again, he's only been president for 5 hours or whatever, but is that he's just going to push back. We're back in the Paris Accord. Great. That's not going to prevent climate collapse. We're in climate collapse. We need a Green New Deal. So this is my problem with the centrism is Biden is just going to, he's going to put back all of the rollbacks that Trump did. Right. And then the left the liberals, they're not lefty. They're liberals. They're the problem. Martin Luther King called them the problem. Malcolm X called them the problem. Phil Oakes called them the problem. Is they're going to go, we did it. Bing, ding dong, the witch is dead. Trump's gone. And now look at all this. It's like the Paris Accord. Okay, great. Paris Accord. We're past that point. We need a Green New Deal. The climate is still collapsing, everybody. I hate to break it to you. It's still collapsing. And
yeah, you're not going to be able to yell at storms like, hey, stop. What didn't you hear? We're back in the Paris Accord. Sea level, stop rising. Ice stop melting. Didn't you see the news?
Hey,
we need to pipe MSNBC to the ice caps. They'll get it. They'll stop.
Hey, climate refugees, the Paris Accord is here. So he said he's shut down the Keystone Pipeline. We'll see about that because he helped put that in place while he was vice president with Obama. They helped. They stopped it, but
they let it get to a certain point before they stopped it. And I mean, and that's the thing. It's like there's all these there's all these things where it's like, hey, this isn't a bad thing. This is good, but this is nowhere resembling enough. And how do you, because I kind of feel the same way. And I think a lot of people do. And I think it's totally okay to feel this way where you're like, yes, I'm glad that Trump's gone. No, I'm not glad when we're in a situation and we needed an FDR, we're getting something to the Reagan. I'm not happy about that. And, you know, it's a weird place to be. Like, it's a weird headspace because it's like, yeah, I'm not going to lie. I had a big smile on my face when I heard someone on the news say former President Trump. But that smile went away when I heard President-elect Biden and I saw Bernie sitting down in the background instead of hearing President-elect Bernie, you know? So it's
today, President Bernie Sanders.
I know.
We should be saying President Bernie Sanders today. And, you know, Vice President Nina Turner should be the first in person of color as the vice president, not Kamala Harris, who put 100,000 black men behind bars, who bailed out, you know, didn't prosecute Steve Mnuchin, who as district attorney in San Francisco, you know, protected pedophile priests. So this is the big hooray and the big change. So it's just like okay, the Muslim ban, great. Get rid of the Muslim ban. Are you going to keep bombing them like when you were vice president and took us from 2 wars to 7? I mean, they're already talking about Juan Guaido, the rightful leader of Venezuela. So you're already full of that crap. Where's our Medicare for all? The president now, who's now President Biden, can do student debt forgiveness with the swipe of a pen. He wrote something like today. It was like, they said he's going to more deferments for student loans or some nonsense like that. But it's like the president via executive order, which is literally just a stroke of a pen, can get rid of 85% of student loans. Ron, you probably know this. Your audience might not, are federal.
Right.
And so they're forgiven. It's not even, we don't even need to come up with tax dollars. We just say, you don't have to pay us back. Mm-hmm. Like and the president could go boom today. He could do that. Boom today. That'll help with people who are struggling right now. Cause I guarantee if you lost your job or you're barely working or I guarantee you having a student loan payment is not helping, and getting it deferred is just kicking the can down the road. Like, oh, you can't get evicted yet. No. And we need rent forgiveness. Now, supposedly in Biden's new stimulus, there's going to be rent forgiveness. Like California is going to get in the neighborhood of $20-some billion. I just did a story on it on my show, Political Vigilante. So it's like, I'm gonna say this on my show, and I'm gonna post it on all my social media platforms, which is, okay, liberals, no more excuses. You've got the White House, you've got Congress, and thanks to what happened in Georgia, you've got the Senate. It's not a divide. It's 50-50. Doesn't matter. Kamala Harris, the VP, rules. So there's no more excuses. You can't blame Trump. You can't blame the Republicans. You can't blame Russia, Burn Bros, or Jill Stein, or Susan, or any other bullshit. Now you better get this done, because I've been here before. I was here, Ron, and you were here. What was it? 12 years ago, when Obama and Biden had the House and the Senate, and they did all this centrist nonsense. So this is And all this, we're going to pull Biden to the left and hold him accountable. Even AOC put out that tweet of like, this isn't enough. Oh, gee, wow. So Jimmy Dore said, F you for not giving Medicare for all. And you said, Jimmy's being violent, you little crybaby. So it's time now. There's no excuses. I don't want to hear any excuses from any neoliberal candy ass out there. The Democrats have zero excuses. You cannot, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So if you don't pass the things that we want, you're going to get voted out. That Vote Any Blue will do, people, if you're so stupid that you have no excuses. The next 2 years, you have no excuses. None. You have 2 years to get everything done that you need to get done. And if you get it done the right way with progressive populist policies like rent forgiveness, like student loan forgiveness, then you will win more elections in the midterms in 2022. But if it's centrism and no, I don't care because let me tell you something. When the Republicans control all 3 houses, they don't care about Democrats' feelings.
No, they go nuclear. And I mean, yeah, that's the thing. If Biden mirrors what Obama did and from 2008 to 2010, you're going to see the same result in the midterms. It is going to be a Republican, like it'll be a bloodbath for Republicans in the midterms. So, I mean, the one thing, and I know we've talked about this before, I think it's appropriate to reiterate today, is that I don't think people are asleep the way they were in 2008. I mean, a lot of it's like Obama won and he was just so well liked then. I mean, I voted for him, and even though he wasn't my first choice, Dennis Kucinich was, I still was happy when he won. And I'm like, this guy's going to be the bridge to the better tomorrow. He's going to start whittling away into the type of world that I want to see in this country and more left-minded people want to see in this country. I really thought that for a long time. And then, it was not the case. It was a lie. But I think that this time around, Joe Biden is not, Mr. Popular Magoo amidst the American people. I mean, and even beyond shows like this and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of regular people, like, who may not be as, who don't follow things as closely as some others. A lot of people are saying this was a vote against Trump, not a vote for Biden.
Yeah.
Biden was not a popular, and he's still not. I mean, again, he didn't win the election. Donald Trump beat himself.
Right.
Like, so.
And I think too, like, to your point, people are a little more woken up for sure. I think that I agree. Look, man, Pelosi and Mitch McConnell's homes were vandalized 2 weeks, a little over before the Capitol thing, right? Mm-hmm. They were vandalized, saying, give us money, give us $2,000, cancel rent. And I think, look, over the summer, the people in power, the ruling class, and then these two ridiculous parties that are the puppets of the ruling class, they got a little scared over the summer. And while I don't condone neo-Nazis going to the Capitol building with guns, wearing Camp Auschwitz shirts and shit, that's awful. I got to tell you, it might be, I don't know that it's necessarily, well, let's just put it this way. The politicians in the Capitol were scared by a group of American people. Those people were, I don't condone them. They need to be held accountable. But they realizing from the summer protests of George Floyd, the tearing down of statues. Look, Jackie Lacey, we know this in Los Angeles. Jackie Lacey, a black woman, was protested for 2 or almost 3 years every Wednesday outside of her office as district attorney of Los Angeles. And she got voted out.
Yep.
And so they're realizing, and the fact that now AOC is talking all like, we need to hold them accountable. She felt the pressure from Force the Vote. I know she did. I mean, she buckled because she's weak.
Well, I think they did.
But they're all, I think the people in power are like, hey man, no one's phoning it in anymore. Everyone's paying attention. So there's going to be protests, and there should be protests outside of Pelosi's office, outside of AOC's office, outside of the peaceful, nonviolent protest, but like, hey, this ain't enough. I mean, climate is collapsing. The coastlines. I mean, when Florida has people are literally moving away from the beach in Florida. Florida is going to be the front line of the rising tides from climate collapse. Right. So, and this is going to happen in Biden's first term. And so I just like people better, I don't want to hear it. You can't blame the Republicans anymore. I don't want to hear it. And so if people don't hold Biden accountable, if these neoliberal candy asses, many of whom are in my dumb generation X, just like, lesser of two evils. Okay, shitheads, this is what you get. Listen, all right, this is what you get. So there's no more excuses. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it from anybody. Any of you liberal shitheads watching this show, you crybaby applesauce.
I don't know if any of them are, but
centrist morons. Well, share this on your Facebook because they're on Facebook. That's where they live. So
that's where they hang the most.
That's where they hang out the most, in that old dumb platform that was really viable 10 years ago. So
that Instagram, because it's owned by Facebook, like that's the other place where you always get, like, whenever I post stuff there, I'll always get a couple like, oh, can't you just be happy? Can't you just be happy that Biden's here? Can't you just don't you think that's a little far?
Don't be mean to the squad. There are allies. No, if they said they were going to do a thing and they don't do it, like, what has the squad done in 2 years? Name it. List off all of the things the squad has done in 2 years. Have they even introduced a bill, even if it didn't pass? That was like awesome, but they couldn't get enough. But nothing. What have they done? They're really good at tweeting.
A lot of likes on Twitter. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Ministry of Appeasement, man.
Ministry of Appeasement.
That's what I call. I mean, and I don't, like, I've unfollowed literally every single. I mean, I wasn't following a lot to begin with, but I unfollowed every single elected official. And I mean, I know this is like not making an actual difference, but like, I refuse to like any tweet that a politician puts out. I refuse to retweet anything that unless I'm commenting on it to call it out. Then I'll retweet it for that, but I won't just retweet it to like celebrate it. I'm like, no, I don't care how nice it sounds, because my mom taught me very young that actions speak louder than words. And I am so tired of when the whole thing went down with the pandemic and they kept tweeting about a pandemic UBI. Right. An emergency UBI, and they kept tweeting about it and tweeting about it and tweeting about it and taking virtually no action. It's like, this is just, you guys are just a placebo.
Yes.
Like even if your intentions are genuine, it doesn't even matter, because you're just being a placebo, whether you're willful or not.
If they still are honest and decent, believe what they wanted, you show me the action. Where have you done it? Don't show me your Twitter. Don't show me your interview. I don't care. Where is it? Where's the legislation? Where's the bill that was passed? Where's the thing that I can point to, say, oh, they got that passed. That's why my life is better. That's why I'm not struggling as much. Where is it? Show it to me. Because, Obama said hope and change, and then I lost my home. So I don't care. Hope and change doesn't mean anything. Likes and whatever. I just don't want to hear it. So, okay, ding dong, the witch is dead, but now what? Like Ice Cube said, now what? Okay, Trump's gone. Now Trump's gone. There's no more. There's none. The Capitol was in siege today. There was no violent insurrection. Joe Biden, the ink is dried. He's the president. That's it. And everyone, and the people who won in Georgia, the Senate, the Congress, this is it. So where is it?
Yeah.
And well, give him time. He just, no. The world is collapsing. This is worse than what FDR inherited. It's worse than what Obama inherited. This is worse. FDR had a global financial meltdown, but he didn't have a pandemic. So, where is it? I don't want to hear it. We don't have time for centrism.
No, we don't. To the people saying, oh, give them time. It's like, look, there's time. You're having your inauguration today. Have a ball. But we're here.
Tomorrow morning?
We're awake. We're awake. We're not going anywhere. Give them time. Like, we're waiting. We're waiting. We're right here.
All of our rent is due in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, how about you give us time? How about you give us time for a change?
Yeah, I don't give a shit that, oh, wait, give him. No, I don't care. There's a million things you can do by executive order. You need to do that right now. You need to be introducing bills right now that can be passed right now because you control both places. So I don't want to hear it. Like, it's January 20th. Okay. So in 11 days, 12 days is February 1st.
So I want to.
Where's my money?
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and